Yes. Gosh, I'm live. I succeeded with the technology because the last couple of times it's been so challenging. As some of you will know if you've been here before with me doing these lives, and it was just like, oh, I don't know how to do it. But I found the secret button. Isn't it exciting when you find that one little missing piece of the jigsaw? And I just wish my laptop had made it slightly easier for me to find. But anyway, here we are. Please ask questions tonight. This is all about April astrology. I have my notes all here. I have a chart for April and I have all the transits, well, the major ones anyway. And first of all, thank you so much for coming. It's really lovely to see you here. You know who I am, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But for those of you that might be new here, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix, and a big welcome to you. And I'd like to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers. You're awesome, and thank you so much for all the support. I also, hi John, thank you. That's nice. Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful to you. Hi, hi, hi. Listen, I want to say thank you. So many of you have private messaged me or left messages on the YouTube videos about my poorly back. It is improving. It's not 100%, but it's getting there. And this really was or is courtesy of my Chiron, the wounded healer, in the sign of Aquarius, and transiting Pluto, which of course has just gone into Aquarius, is coming up to be conjunct my natal Chiron. So I think it's going, hi Nikki, I think it's going to throw up quite a few challenging things for me. And anyone else born in 1955 or 56 who has a Leo ascendant, you will also have Pluto conjunct your natal Chiron in the sixth house, and that's why it's health. And so this really is challenging. And I've had a couple of other issues, which I'm not going to go into, but it's meant that I'm all behind with my videos for April. So please be patient. I am in the process of doing the zodiac signs. So for your rising sign and your zodiac, and I've gone as far as Libra, but I've still got to do Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And I'm going to hopefully get those done tomorrow. So my lovely tech guy, Jerry, who you often hear me talk about, who does all the clever stuff, the topping and tailing and pictures and everything. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am getting better. Thank God. Hi, Willow Green. Lovely to see you all here. Really is absolutely wonderful. And so the videos that will eventually be attached to this live April astrology stream will be up probably Monday or Tuesday, depending how quickly Jerry is able to top and tail them, edit them, and do all that clever technical stuff that I really don't understand. Anyway, let's get on with no further ado about April. How are you guys? Hello from Greece, first time live. Thank you so much. So let's just look at what's happening, because I don't know about anyone else, but it's been I think it's all been quite a lot of what I'd call high pressure. It's almost like, you know, we're speeding along at the speed of light almost. And I think these major moves that we've had from Pluto, our planet of transformation, into Aquarius, I think that's really shaking a lot of us up. You know, it's a bit like, I was thinking about this, it's like you've had a really big, wild party, and Pluto has come in to do the clearing up. So he's tiptoed into Aquarius and he's gone, my God, what have you all been doing in here? So, because Pluto can be seen as the drain cleaner, or as the hoovering up of all the mess and the trash and all the nasty stuff. And so it's really quite interesting analogy. And I do think that this Pluto energy, and you might find in whichever house in your chart Pluto has moved into, wherever Aquarius is in your chart, check it out. There may be some tidying up that you need to do, not straight away, but you've got kind of like a good 2 years to get that sorted out, because Pluto's going to be at these early degrees going back into Capricorn, then back into Aquarius, back into Capricorn again, and finally into Aquarius towards the end of 2024. But of course, we have also, hi, Deborah, good to see you here. Good to see so many of you here. Thank you so much. So let's think about April, because as well as Pluto moving, we've also got to get used to the energy of my big outer boy Saturn, our planet of restriction, rules, containment, and all of that stuff, which is all quite difficult. Boundaries is in Pisces. And again, look for where Pisces is in your chart. Now, remember, the sign of Pisces is very much about our feelings and our emotions and our intuition or our psychic abilities. And so it has this, this quality of Saturn coming into this part of the chart is like it's saying, let's get some common sense and grounding into this energy. Because, Pisces, our feelings go all over the place. My oceans of emotions. And it really is an uncontained sign. Pisces are highly spiritual, highly aware, and it doesn't always serve them well. They have to be grounded. And so at least once every 30 years, Saturn visits their sign to give them a bit of grounding and earthing. So let's look at April. Do we have April showers or sunny days? So let's have a think about it, because all the energy this month is focused mainly in the sign of Aries, where, of course, on the 20th of March, we had the spring equinox. So we got the sun moving into the sign of Aries. And we currently have 5 planets in Aries. This is known as a stellium, when you get a whole group of planets all bunched together. We've got the sun, which is our soul. It's our life force. It's everything kind of, really, really kind of energetic about us. It also can be our ego. And I can see there's loads of questions coming up, and I will try and address them when I catch my breath at each little pause. But I can see, Carol, you've asked me about moon in Pisces, and you're an Aquarius rising, and you've got Pluto in the 7th. No, actually, don't worry about that. I think it's going to be very transforming for your relationships. And if you're single and looking, it can bring something new in and really transform your life. I think it's really important to not take these big energies, these big outer planets, on too serious a level, which is not to say they shouldn't be taken seriously, but we have to dilute the energy. Remember, these planets move incredibly slowly, and they are generational energies. So what you have to do is kind of dilute it a little bit and sip it gently. So, and there's someone here, Melissa, who is nervous for your mum, who's got her sun at 2 degrees of Aquarius, Pluto transit getting closer. Listen, Melissa, Pluto's already conjunct her sun, and it's been conjunct her sun for a good 2 years, because whilst it was still in Capricorn, it was already in orb of your mother's sun. Now, this doesn't have to be something that concerns you or worries you. Remember, Pluto is about power. Pluto is also transforming. This might be, as it's on your mother's MC, this might actually be something about her finding her power, her finding her ability to really kind of transform herself and her energies in a much more productive way. So this is why I'm saying try not to see these energies in too black and white, all of you. Don't see it black and white or polarized, because it doesn't serve us well. Okay, I've just had this experience, as I've told you before, of Pluto conjunct my Chiron, and it sent my back out. But I'm dealing with it. And this is the whole thing. It's like these energies give you a heads up of what it is you're meant to be dealing with. So pay attention to the events that are coming up in your life. And that way you can actually kind of be one step ahead of the energies. But let's come back to April astrology, because April is a busy month, because we've got a full moon in Libra. Now remember, Libra is the sign that is in opposition to Aries. So we've got the sun conjunct Chiron right at the beginning of the month on the 5th. That's lovely healing energy. And in fact, because the full moon in Libra is actually on the 6th, this brings in that healing energy, so that I see this full moon as a healing full moon, as if it's, and you know what it is sometimes? Healing is achievable when we let go of outcomes. Sometimes we take ourselves too seriously and we take events too literally. And it's so important that we stand back and actually see the bigger picture. Now, this Libra full moon could be about what do you need to let go of in regard to a close personal relationship. Doesn't necessarily mean letting go of the relationship. It might just be that a certain way of behaving, a way of being, a habit that is not helpful to the relationship needs to end. So try not to see these energies too extreme, because they're not. Sometimes these energies come along, they come and go, and we don't even notice that they've happened. Let's see what, hang on, someone's saying I'm a ray of sunshine. Oh, thank you so much. I thought yellow today because it's kind of spring and it's coming up to Easter. So it seemed like an appropriate color for the live. So, and moving on with April, Jupiter is conjunct, or has been conjunct Chiron, and it's also coming up to be conjunct Eris. And Mercury is right at the end. Mercury, remember, is our planet of communication, is right at the end of Aries, about to move into Taurus. And it actually moves in right at the beginning on the 3rd and makes a hard square to Pluto. So this weekend, because of course tomorrow, April the 1st, April Fool's Day, and the 2nd is Sunday, the 3rd is Monday. This weekend, watch out how you have communications with people. Watch out how you put things across. Try not to be too, what's the word? Try not to be too directional, because I'm thinking also of Mars, because Mars, our god of action, energy, assertion, is now in the sign of Cancer. This can get us a bit emotional. So you need to watch, because Jupiter is kind of widely conjunct. Things might get out of proportion over this weekend with things that you are talking about with people that are important to you. So that's just like it's just been a kind of it's a difficult energy. Let's just say it that way. But again, take a few steps back and breathe. And it's really interesting. I'm trying to read all the chat that's coming up and look at my notes and the chart. And you have to be very ambidextrous doing these things. I'll see if there's anything else. What have we got there? Leo with Aquarius rising and Aquarius moon have had an extraordinary couple of years. Yes, haven't we all? I'm a Leo rising with an Aquarius on the descendant, so you can say that again, and it's still going to kind of continue to unfold. But there is an important energy that I do want to point out for April, because I haven't got there yet, which is about Mercury, our planet of communication. Mercury is going retrograde. Yes, I'm sorry, but it is on the 21st of April, and that's until May the 15th. Now, this is going to be really quite interesting, and I want to say, don't worry about Mercury retrograde. Often it can be a blessing in disguise. It brings us opportunities and a gift of going back over something we might have overlooked, we might have missed. So what you need to look for, if you know your chart basically, is where is Taurus? Where is the sign of Taurus in your chart? Look for that, because that will be the area of your life that is under the spotlight with this Mercury retrograde that is trying to help you. So just keep that kind of in the forefront of your mind. And I will do heads ups later in April for the various conjunctions it will make, like with the North Node, with Uranus, it will make a conjunction. Venus by then will have Venus actually moves into Gemini on the 11th. So that's not going to be affected by Uranus at this point. But we've got, you see, Taurus is very stubborn. I'm a Taurian, I know. We are incredibly stubborn. And I remember I always used to say when I was much younger, I probably still say it now actually, I will sort this out in my own way, in my own time. And I know my friends used to get very frustrated with me because probably I knew they were right about whatever it was that I was complaining about. Most likely a man at some point. Sorry, guys, but, us ladies, as we're growing up, we have these relationships with a lot of you. And sometimes they don't work. And sometimes as a lady, I've had to work that out for myself. And I don't like it when someone else can see it and I can't. But anyway, it all got sorted out several times. So let's just come back to what this energy is about, because as I said, Mercury going retrograde, see it as an opportunity. Look for what part of your chart it is in, because that will give you the clue. But also the day before Mercury goes retrograde, the Sun moves into Taurus, and just before that, we get the second new moon in Aries. Now, this is unusual. To get a new moon twice in the same sign within the space of basically a month, a lunar month, is unusual. And so, but there's more with this new moon because it's also a solar eclipse. So that's when the moon comes between the Earth and the Sun, and the moon shadows the Sun. Now, it's interesting because the new moon we had at the beginning, or it was at the end of March, which was in Aries, I think it was round about the 21st, was at the 0 degree and a few minutes of Aries. That's fascinating. This already gives it more power. And what happens is that this new moon is right at the very end of Aries at 29 degrees and 49 minutes. That is extraordinary. And because it is a solar eclipse, it gives it more weight and energy. It's like it really, really, I can see that. I'm 29 degrees Scorpio ascendant. Hope you'll survive this solar eclipse. I suspect you will. You remember, it's a new moon solar eclipse. Solar eclipses are always new moons, and lunar eclipses are always full moons. So that's quite an easy way to remember the difference. So what we need to know about this new moon is that it's making a square to Pluto, our lovely planet, our dwarf planet of power, transformation, endings, beginnings. Let's go to the positive. What new things might emerge for you around the end of the month? Because I think that's the way you have to kind of go with this. And it might be something that you can't really see clearly at the moment. It could be, to do with health, relationships, career, home life, all sorts of things that it could be to do with finance. Because the sun is partially hidden, it means the light is hidden from the issue. So what you have to do is be patient, because for sure, by the full moon that we get in May, something will have become clear. And the full moon in May is a lunar eclipse. And interestingly, it's in, let me remember where it is. It's in Scorpio, and it's round about the same date. It's either the 5th or the 6th when King Charles III gets crowned as new king of the United Kingdom. This is not good energy for him to be doing this. New moon, solar eclipse, maybe not so bad, but a full moon, lunar eclipse, no. I'm going to do a special video about the coronation and what we can learn from it. Because also, I believe, and I can't remember, so don't quote me, I think the day before or at some point that day, the moon is void. Now, you never do important things when the moon is void. And it's always important to remember that. And, sometimes it's really useful to have, there's an app you can put on your phone, which is, you just get all the zodiac wheel where it is for your location at any time of day. And it will tell you at the bottom whether the moon is making an aspect to Pluto, or the moon is void, or the moon is moving into Aquarius. And it's a really good way to kind of help you learn your astrology better and really get familiar with the way that kind of zodiac wheel works. So I don't want to say what it is online, but if you want to know what that particular app is, leave me a message or private message me and I'll let you know. So this new moon solar eclipse we've also got in this new moon solar eclipse, Neptune in Pisces conjunct the ascendant of this Pisces event chart for the new moon. Now that is very interesting. Remember what I was saying about Pisces being very spiritual, very emotional, very psychic, very intuitive, no boundaries. The new moon with this Neptune conjunct the ascendant, I think this is going to bring up some illusion and confusion about how whatever it is you want to manifest is going to manifest. And that's in part because of this solar eclipse, because it's somehow, it's just keeping something out of sight for you. But you know what the answer is? Well, I know what the answer is. Saturn. Saturn, our planet of boundaries, containment, restrictions. Saturn is in the 12th house of this solar eclipse chart. That means this is about timing. So whatever it is that you might be wanting to launch or give new intentions to, trust that the cosmos knows best. Trust the timing. So often we try and rush things. We try and move things along too quickly. And, if we can just sense timing, it makes just such a difference to our lives. There's a time to rest. There's a time to pause. There's a time to be active. And if you think of the whole zodiac wheel, it almost gives us those clues of where we need to rest, where we need to be active, where we need to pay attention to another. So finally, before I have a little look at all your messages and see if I can answer a few, I just want to say that the other thing is that we need to look at Mars and Venus in this chart, because as I say, Venus is moving into Gemini on the 11th, and on the 11th it makes this trine to Pluto in Aquarius. That's one of these, and that is going to be very transformative talk, very good day for communication. On the 14th it will be squaring Saturn in Pisces. Not such a good day for communication. You might be too abrupt, or someone might be too abrupt with you. You might think, oh, well, I thought I was being quite, open and friendly, and you get kind of slapped down. So don't take it personally. The other thing we have to look at is Mars on the 27th in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries. Now remember, Chiron is our wounded healer. And Mars is our god of energy action. It can also sometimes be accidents, illness, anything like that, but it's Cancer. So there's two things this could be. This could be tummy problems, because Cancer rules the tummy and the stomach and the sort of digestive system, because it's about babies and birth. And so there could be something around that. It's also emotional, because Cancer is emotional. And Mars in Cancer is going to get upset about things. And it might just be that things are going on around you where you need to just have a really good sob and cry. It's interesting when we think about it. Hello, Moni, new subscriber, thank you so much. Bless you and welcome. And, when we think about it, I was thinking about this for myself the other day, and I was thinking all through the COVID years, do you know I never cried once? And I thought, I wonder what that's about. Not that there was anything in particular that happened to me to make me cry, but I why I mention this is that I actually cried for the first time for a very long time yesterday. And I really needed it. And it was because somebody said something to me that made me really realize how much they valued me in their life as a friend. And it set me off. So something had to set me off, and that was it. And I think that that's just, a lovely way that it can kind of play out. Now, that's all I want to say about April. And I'm now going to see if I can have a look at some of your questions and see if I can. So I can see there's a conversation going on about Princess Diana and all of that. And yes, I agree. And I think that I think she was before her time, and I think it is very sad. She was interestingly a Cancer sun and a Cancer ascendant. And interestingly, Camilla is also born under the sign of Cancer, and interestingly has a chart not dissimilar to Princess Diana's. So I'm neutral in all these things. I'm not going to say what I think or don't think. But I was in London when Princess Diana died, and that evening I was one of the many people that went up to London with flowers and laid them. I think for mine, I laid them outside Harrods because, of course, Dodi Fayed, his father, owned at that point Harrods. So let's see what we've got with the astrology. You've got, let's have a look. Oh, Kim, you've been crying too. But it's such a release. All the hormones and chemicals that it releases are so good for us when we have that release. So you've got Saturn in your 6th house, and you've just joined a personal coaching session, 26 weeks, to help with exercise and diet plan. That is brilliant. Brilliant use of Saturn in your 6th, because Saturn contracts. So it will help you get your head round losing weight. So that's really good use of that energy. Kairos is the qualitative time of life. The Greeks considered it the most appropriate for something new. I think you'll have to explain that to me a bit more, Deborah. I'm not quite following that. Annabelle has been in nature. You've been very weepy. We can't have weepy. We just need a good cry. Get it all out. Help, Virgo sun, Gemini rising, Aquarius moon. Virgo sun. So you're going to have Saturn in opposition. That doesn't have to be bad. Remember, I really want to get this message across to as many people as I can. Please don't fear all these transits. It's a little bit like, do you remember the story of the Sorcerer's Apprentice, where he went to the big magician's book and he thought, I don't want to clean up all this mess. I'm going to see if I can find a magic spell to do it. And he did, but of course the spell went completely wrong. And he ended up flooding the whole place because loads of buckets, loads of mops all appeared and drowned the place out. And the moral of that story is, remember, sometimes a little information isn't always helpful to us. We really need to, with any subject, especially a subject like astrology, which is so complex, not to put any of you off. I mean, I've been studying it on and off for over 30 years, and it really takes some time getting your head around it. And I have to be honest, the time I started really learning it, interestingly, was when I started reading charts for other people and doing these videos, because you have to learn it when you're doing the videos. You have no choice because you're on show. So let's see, the Old Oak Tree Tarot. I love that title. I welcome them. I welcome change. Although today you snapped twice. Oh dear. We can't be perfect all the time. That's absolutely perfect. All that is and all that ever was is love. Yes, Sylvia. And do you know, I think that is a really good point to bring this to a conclusion. We've been going for, let me have a look. How long have we been going for? About half an hour. So I think that's enough. So listen, I just want to thank you so much for joining me for this live stream today, for all your support, for all the new subscribers. I mean, it's just awesome. Some of you I know have been with me since I had like 20 subscribers, and the way it's grown in the last 2.5 years is just incredible. And I do feel very blessed, I have to say. It's hard work. And also, if you do want to have a one-to-one private reading for me, I do readings. My website is pennydix.com, so www.pennydix.com. It is in the description box. And I have that you might find you get quite a weight, because I'm trying to restructure my work-life balance, because I'm not a young woman anymore, and I get tired, and so I don't want to have too many clients in one week and not too many in one day, because it actually takes a lot of energy reading someone's chart, because something else comes through me. It's the most extraordinary experience. I you know, it's like the astrology is a map, and then the rest just flows through. So please be patient if you send emails and I take time to reply. I will get back to you eventually. Sometimes I get in a bit of a muddle, but I'll do my best to get it all sorted out, and all these things can be tweaked and changed. And so thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I'm going to try and do these live monthlies every month, more or less at the end of each month, because I think it's quite fun. And as I said, the individual zodiac signs will be available probably not till Monday. I'll give Jerry a day or so's grace, because it is the weekend. So, I don't want him working too hard. And was there something else I wanted to say? I don't know. But I just want to say thank you so much. And please be well. Please be happy. April is going to start. We are going to start seeing. I think what's going to happen is we're going to start getting used to this energy, because I keep trying to finish, don't I? And then I go off on another tangent. So we're going to start getting used to this new energy. And then just as we've got used to Pluto in Aquarius, it'll go back into Capricorn in June, but we'll come to that. So I'd like to wish you a blessed weekend. I would also like to wish you a very happy Easter if you celebrate Easter, or if you celebrate, because I think there are other holidays for other religions that come more or less at the same time. So I wish all of those. I really will have to do some research on this. So I wish everybody who is having a holiday season around this time a really blessed time. Please take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And now I'm going to press the magic button that ends the stream. Bye for now.